You see, doubt, it's something that you're bound to fail in. And when you start to fail at something that you've not ever done before, you start to doubt yourself and you know not believe that you can actually accomplish the goal at hand. And I know that a lot of us that are listening to this right now, I know we've all doubted ourselves once or twice or even many times during this journey. But what I want you to know is that doubt can be used to your advantage. Okay, you see, you can't allow doubt to overcome you and be bigger than you. Okay, is it okay to doubt yourself? I say yeah. Because you see, the thing is that when you doubt yourself, you're analyzing yourself and you're noticing that you have flaws and you're someone that is not yet suitable for the task at hand. And you start to doubt yourself because you know that you could be better, you know that you can do more, you know you could be more intelligent, you know you could be working a little more, you know that if you gave everything that you had, that you'll be a lot better in terms of the situation that you're in. But because you haven't been doing what's required of you, because you haven't been showing up for yourself, because you haven't been reading the books, because you haven't been listening to the audios, guess what? You start to doubt yourself because you don't feel prepared. You don't feel ready. And that's why we always say, if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. If you want to get rid of your doubt, one of the things you have to do is you have to prepare. Because remember, proper preparation prevents poor performance. Okay. So the reason why you doubt yourself is because you don't prepare. So when you don't prepare, you fail. The job that you do is not complete, it's not effective. So because it's not an effective job done, because it's not done with purpose and intention, it doesn't feel good. And then guess what? You start to get these feelings of doubt, where because you have these feelings of doubt, you start to think that you can't do these things. And that's the reason why I started to really tell people, like, yo, use doubt to your advantage. Allow doubt to help you become a better version of yourself. Because all doubt is a feeling of uncertainty. You just don't feel certain. You just don't feel like it's really something that you can do. So use this doubt as fuel. Like, you know what? I can do this. I can accomplish this. I am that six-figure earner. I am that seven-figure earner. I am that seven-figure trader. I am that successful investor. I am a better leader. Okay? Because you see, guys, don't allow the doubt to be bigger than you. You become bigger than the doubt. Identify the doubt, acknowledge it for what it is. Okay? Because if it wasn't for the doubt, you wouldn't know what it is that you are uncertain about. That's what it's all about. Remember, yes, you're doubting yourself right now. Okay. But embrace it. Okay. What are you uncertain about? That what, you're not going to make it? Of course you're going to make it. What are you uncertain about? That you're going to fail? That's fine. You're supposed to fail your way to success. What are you uncertain about? That you're not going to make money? You are going to make money because you are a money magnet. So don't worry about the things that are not going to happen, because 90% of what we worry about anyways never comes true anyways. Okay, use doubt as a fuel to keep you going, moving forward. Use doubt as a way to catapult you to new levels. Because you see, when you doubt yourself, you become aware of what you are uncertain of. And what you are uncertain of, what you want to do is you want to work on that every single day until you are certain of those things. Because you see, the faster you take your uncertainties and you make them certain, the faster you'll get rid of the doubt that you're feeling on a day-to-day basis. The problem is that you're feeling doubt, but you're doing nothing about it. You go back home and you sit back on your couch and you do nothing about it. You go back on Instagram and you just scroll through other people's pages and you compare yourselves. You go back to hanging out with your friends. You go back to doing the same things that you were doing before, but you're not making a change. You're not taking those uncertainties that you feel that are causing you to doubt yourself and put you at a low vibration, and you're not allowing yourself to take those uncertainties and make them certain now. You got to make those uncertainties certain, because that's what's going to get rid of the doubt that you keep having on a day-to-day basis, that's holding you back, that's limiting you, that's not allowing you to become the best version of yourself and tap into your full potential. Stop doubting yourself. Everything you want is already yours. Why are you doubting it? Why are you uncertain about things that are already yours? Do you know that the moment you put anything in your mind is already yours? Because remember, if you can see it in your mind long enough, you will eventually be able to hold it in your hands. So if you know that whatever you hold in your mind long enough, you will eventually hold in your hand, why would you doubt it that it's going to come? Why? Because you face some challenges along the way. It's part of becoming a better version of you. It's part of becoming deserving of what you ask for. Okay? You got to understand that everything you ask for comes with a test. And this test is part of the testimony. Okay? If it was just all ask and receive, it'll be so easy and you wouldn't even appreciate it when you get it. But you know why we appreciate the things that we ask for? It's because we get tested before we get them. We get put through challenges to see if we're deserving. We have to climb over obstacles to see if we're willing. We have to deal with friends and family doubting us so that we can believe more in ourselves. You see, everything that you're going through right now, guys, I know how it is. I know what it's like to have friends and family and even your significant others doubt you. But guess what that does? That inspires you to go harder. I've had obstacles that are hard to climb over. But you know what that did? That made me stronger. All right, guys, welcome to Mornings with Nano. Grand Rising. Happy Wednesday. We like to call it Wednesday here on my team. I hope everybody is having a beautiful start to their day. Real quick, as you guys know, I'm always going to ask, because I got to hold you guys accountable, who did their morning routine this morning? Put some 222s in the chat. Who's working on themselves? Who's making themselves a priority? Who's showing themselves the ultimate level of self-love? I'm very grateful to be on this morning call. Today was one of those good days for me as well, because I usually work out Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesdays are my cardio days, and I've been working on getting my time down during my jogging. It's funny because throughout my baseball days, I used to do a lot of running back in the days, but I haven't done it much over the years, so I'm kind of getting back into it now. So running has been something that I got to work on for my cardio and everything like that. So it's been super dope today. I sweated so much. Oh my God, it was incredible. But it feels good, right? To do all the things that, at one point, running for me was comfortable. Now, doing it is still, it got back to the point where I didn't do it enough, where it was now uncomfortable to do it. So, running actually makes me uncomfortable now. So to the point now where I'm getting to the point, I'm getting to the point where I want to get comfortable with it again. So like, that's kind of like the season that I'm in, is taking all the things that once were comfortable for me and making them uncomfortable. And I pray that all of you are doing the exact same thing. That is the season that we're in. You guys got to always remember, right? There's seasons throughout the year. All right. How do you run through the shin splints? I hate shin splints, by the way. Luckily, I pray I don't have shin splints. I get them every like once in a while, barely, but it's so hard. So I can't even run when I have shin splints because it's that bad. So I pray I don't get them. But in reality, I really don't run when I have shin splints. Yeah, they suck, I know. But we got to remember that there's seasons, right? So remember, in life and in this year, the seasons are, we know them as winter, spring, summer, fall. And the winter, they call it the season of challenges, the season of preparation. It's that season, right? Usually the season is defined by challenges and preparation, right? The season of spring, which is the following season, is the season of planting, the season of opportunity, the season to get better. The summer, which is the following season after spring, which is the season that we're in now, is the season of growth, protection, and uncomfortability. That's the season that we're all in right now. Because then the fall is the season of harvest, it's the season of receiving. But right now, we're not in the fall. We're in the season of what? Growth, protection, and uncomfortability. We need to understand the seasons that we're in. So knowing that we are in the summer season, and this is not my training, but I just want to kind of give you guys a little intro message going into what I'm going to say here. I said three things that this season is about. The season is about growth. Now, there's a saying that says blank. Hold up, let me see. So we said it's a season of growth, right? So I want you to fill in the blank. We can't grow without a blank. We can't grow without a blank. What's the blank? There you go, Ricardo. Ricardo's been on these calls for way too long. He knows all the answers already. There you go, Emmy. Right? We can't grow without a challenge, right? So real quick, if you're going through some challenges, put a 1 in the chat if you're going through any challenges at this current moment, right? Anybody going through some challenges right now, right? Let me throw a 1 in there myself because I'm even going through some challenges myself, right? So we can't grow without a challenge. The magic word there is grow. So we have to embrace that we are in the season of growth. That's what this season is about, the season of growth. So if you're being challenged, embrace the challenge because that's what this season is for, right? It's for challenge. Now, we said the second word is protection, right? We said growth, protection. Now, Nano, what do you mean by protection? Protection means you have to protect what you've already planted this year. Protect the routine, protect your habits, protect the things that you've already done this year. All right, you got to protect that. And the way you can protect those things is by staying true to what you said you would do. Staying true to your word, staying true to your routine, staying true to everything that you said. Being aware, limiting the distractions, right? A lot of distractions during this season, paying attention to all these things, not allowing certain things to get the best of you during this time. That's all part of protection. And then the last word I said was uncomfortability, which means during this season right now, guys, you can't be comfortable. You have to be uncomfortable more than you've ever been because this is what's going to make you deserving. Uncomfortable being you're waking up earlier, you're going to the gym more, you're taking action on the things that once made you really uncomfortable, you're posting more, you're talking more, you're going to more events, you're investing more, you're doing more of what makes you uncomfortable. So if you're wondering, well, Nano, what season are we in? We are in the season of summer, and the summer represents growth, protection, and uncomfortability. If you want to be in alignment with the season, you got to be doing those three things right now. All right. So this is very key. So that's just something that I wanted to say to you guys before we get into this training. The training is kind of going to go into everything that I basically just said. Just we're going to focus on a different topic, right? So today we're going to talk about falling in love with the boring work. You see, everybody loves the highlight reels. Everybody loves the paydays and the recognition and the freedom and the trips. And everybody loves that. But you see, those moments aren't built without the boring work, without the work that's done in the dark that nobody sees. All right. You see, success is not just fireworks every day. It's somebody waking up every day and laying that brick through the boring, the repetitive work. So today I'm going to help you guys understand how to fall in love with the boring work. Because the boring work is what's going to get you guys to where you want to go to. What separates the good from the great are the ones that are able to embrace the boring work. I learned that very early on. My mentor once told me, Saneno, you want to separate yourself from everybody else? I was like, of course I do. Tell me, what do I got to do? He like, would you be willing to do anything? I was like, I'll do anything you tell me to do as long as it's going to help me retire my family and live the life that I want. He said, all you have to do to separate yourself from everybody else is fall in love with the boring work. And I'm like, that's it? He's like, that's it. That's it. That's all you have to do. Because you see, most people don't like to do the boring work. They don't. Everybody wants the like I said, the recognition. Everybody wants the houses. Everybody wants the big paydays, the vacations, everything. But what a lot of people don't see is that it was a lot of boring work that allowed us to get there. So here is the 4 keys to fall in love with the boring work. Here's the 4 keys. Number 1, the boring is the foundation. The boring is the foundation. It's the foundation to everything right here, right? A lot of the things that I teach on Mornings with Nano, we'll start with what I talk about almost every day, the morning routine. That is, if we're honest about it, it gets kind of boring after a while, right? I've been doing it for years. And in the beginning, when I started doing it, it was boring to me. I'm like, yo, I gotta wake up early. I gotta pray. I gotta read my gold card. I gotta read for 30 minutes. I have to, meditate. I gotta journal. I gotta read the Bible. I gotta do all these things. And in the beginning, it was very boring to me because at the time I didn't see any progress from it. I didn't see the point in what I was doing, right? Especially when you're first getting into it, it seems very boring. So it's hard to get into it when you've never done these things. All right, waking up early, having to wake up early when you don't have to. Remember, when you're an entrepreneur, I don't have to wake up early, right? It's not like I got a job to get to at 9 a.m, right? If I want to, I could wake up every day at 10 a.m., 9:30 a.m., and just go about my day, do Mornings with Nano, and take it easy, sleep in every single day if I want to. In reality, if I really wanted to, I could. But still, but why wake up at 5:30 in the morning if you don't have to? Because I get to become a better version of myself. I can't stay comfortable where I'm at. And in the mornings, all I'm doing is the boring work. But remember, write this down. Love and patience are the same thing. Love and patience are the same thing. Let me explain why. You see, in the beginning, you have to have patience so that eventually you could fall in love. But once you're in love with the routine, once you're in love with waking up early, now you'll have the patience to wait for everything to unfold. Does that make sense? Let me repeat that again so it don't go over anybody's head. Love and patience are the same thing. Why? Because in the beginning, you have to have patience. You have to have the patience to fall in love. Eventually, what ends up happening, that's what happened to me. Eventually, I did that boring work so much times. I woke up so many times at that time that eventually I was like, yo, I love this. Like, I truly love this. This is so cool. Because in the beginning, when you're doing it, remember, you're just picking up the book, you're reading it. You're just writing your goals down and nothing is happening. You're meditating and you can't see nothing. You don't. So in the beginning, it's boring. But what ends up happening is that if you do it long enough and you start to see results, you start to fall in love with it because you're like, wait, I'm more aware. Yo, the goal that I was writing down for the last 2 weeks, for the last month, for the last 3 months, it came true. The visualizations that I was seeing every morning are coming true. The blessings that I'm receiving is because of the relationship I'm building with God. The challenges that are entering my life now, I'm able to battle them because I know verses in the Bible. I think of God, I think of specific words, and boom, there it is. So now you start to realize, like, yo, this is actually amazing. Look at what's happening for me because I'm putting myself in a better position, right? You start going to the gym consistently, and in the beginning, it sucks, it's boring. But then next thing you know, a month later, 2 months later, 90 days later, you go to your friend's house, you go to a barbecue, you go to the beach, and all your friends are like, damn, Nano, I see you, bro. That six pack coming around, the chest looking nice. For my ladies, yo, I see you, sis. That booty looking nice, legs looking good, flat tummy, the whole nine, right? Now you're getting all these compliments and you start to blush. You're like, damn, okay, I need to stay in it. Now you fall in love because guess what? You're seeing the results. You're seeing it. It's making sense. So what was now boring is now fun, right? Patience and love is the same thing because remember, you had to have the patience to do the boring work every single day, read the books, listen to the audios, this. You got the results. Now you're in love with doing it. Man, I love going to the gym. I love waking up early. I love reading. I love doing my Bible study. I love all these things. So guess what? Now because you're in love with it, now you can have the patience to let everything unfold. Does that make sense? Put a 2 in the chat box if this is making sense so far. That's why love and patience is the same thing. In the beginning, you got to have patience though. So the foundation is in the boring. The boring is the foundation. The boring is the foundation. Think about it like this. When they're building a house, if you think about the final product, the big, beautiful house, everything is finished, it's all done. You got a beautiful garage, the living room. You got a beautiful a beautiful 2-story house with 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, everything included, beautiful pool in the back, the whole nine, right? But that was the finished product. You didn't see all the boring work that those construction workers had to put in over the years or over the months. Every day laying those bricks, every day organizing everything, every day. And guess what? When they was building it, it looked ugly. It looked ugly at the time. Let's call it what it is. All the wood, all the bricks. Some days it doesn't look as good. Then some days it rains, some days it snows. But guess what? The finished product looks absolutely amazing. But there was a lot of boring work that was put in every single day, season after season, in order for that house to look the way that it looks. This is important that you guys understand that. Michael Howard, you understand this more than anybody because you own a construction company, right? You've seen the finished product of houses, but talk about the boring work that it takes to build those beautiful houses and all the work. And you know more than me. I don't work construction, so I could only imagine. I can only go based off of like what I've seen over the years. It's messy. There's so much going on. So you have to make sure that the boring work is put in. Because here's the thing about the boring work. The boring work, remember what I said? The boring is the blank. Finish it in the chat box. Let's see who's been paying attention real quick. The boring is the blank. The boring is the blank. Matt is calling me on. Is the foundation. Now, let me ask you guys a question. If I was to build something on a weak foundation, is it going to last? Yes or no? If I build something on a weak foundation, is it going to last? Yes or no? It's not going to last. Michael Howard, you built houses, right? You've built houses in the past. If I mess up the foundation, what happens to that house in the future? It's going to fall. It's not going to last. So you got to think about it. That boring work that you're avoiding, that boring work that you avoid, that's what's helping you build your foundation right there. And if you don't build a strong foundation later on, throughout the year, throughout life, in business, in your relationships and everything, it's going to fall. It's gonna fall. Guaranteed. It's not even a question. It will fall. A house collapses if it's not built on a solid foundation. Your business collapses if it is not built on a solid foundation. So, Nano, how do we build a solid foundation? It's the boring work, waking up every day. Every day. Since August, I've been waking up almost every single day at 5:30 in the morning. Every day, every day, every day, every day. Why? Because I'm doing the boring work. Every day I'm reading the Bible. Every day I'm reading my book. Every day I'm writing my goals down. I'm writing in my journal. I'm listening to audios. I'm boring work. It's boring, but I'm falling in love with it again. Why? Because I'm building my foundation. Don't run away from the boring work. That's where the magic is. That's what's going to help you get to where you want to go to. So that a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, you'll look back and you'll be like, damn, thank God I listened to Neno when he told me to fall in love with the boring. It set me apart. You wake up at 5:30, even if you stay up late the night before, yes. Yes. For example, last night, I fell asleep at almost 12:30 on the phone, talking with my team, doing everything. But I have a commitment every day, 5:30. It's a commitment. And you know what that does, Ben? You won't even imagine. That builds incredible willpower. It builds this willpower inside of you because you see, it's one thing when you get sleep and you wake up at 5:30. It's another thing when you know you went to sleep late. You know you're only going to be able to run on 5 hours of sleep, but you still woke up, you battled the mind, you battled the sleep, you battled it, and you still got going. That builds a different level of confidence, a different level of belief, a different level of just savageness inside of you because you were like, yo, I wasn't soft, right? I wasn't soft. I didn't stay in bed. Most would have stayed in bed. You know what? You got up. I went for the run. I got in the gym. I did what was required. Little espresso. It is what it is. I'll just make sure I get my sleep tonight. That's it. That's what I do. I'm like, yo, I don't get sleep throughout the week. Let's say I have a couple days throughout the week where I don't get as much sleep. On the weekend, I'm sleeping in onto my alarm. I'm turning off all my alarms on the weekend. I'm gonna turn off all my alarms in the weekend. Why? Because I'm asleep and I'm gonna catch up on my sleep. I deserve it. Am I still gonna do the boring work on the weekend? Yes, but I'm gonna catch up on sleep because I need that sleep. So I can be refreshed, I can replenish myself, and I could be ready for the next week. So the boring work is the key. The posting on social media, the prospecting from my leaders, the follow-ups, the personal development, all that stuff is the foundation. Let's go to number 2. Point number 2 I want to make when it comes to mastering the boring work. Understanding that boredom is the test of discipline. Boredom is the test of discipline. Now, does anybody know what the definition of discipline is that I teach on mornings? Let's see if anybody knows it off the top. I want to challenge you guys because I have really good students on this call. What is the definition of discipline for my students that may know off the top? Can anybody tell me? Let's see who knows this. I'll be surprised if somebody does. Doing what you guys got it. Oh my God. So there's one that I say. Discipline in reality. This is the one I was looking for, and somebody said it here. Becky was the one that got it right. But you guys also have it right, which is, obviously after the feeling is done, you guys basically, so giving discipline is the ability to give yourself a command and follow through with it long after the feeling has faded. So it's a combination of what both of you guys said, right? A lot of you guys kind of had one half and another half. So it's a combination of what Becky said with what, like, for example, Zion said, for example. It's like a combination of both, right? It's the ability to give yourself a command. Yo, I'm gonna wake up early and I wake up early. I'm gonna read and I read. I'm gonna go to the gym and I go to the gym. I'm gonna post 5 times a week and I post 5 times a week. Discipline is the ability to give yourself a command and follow through with it long after the feeling of excitement has faded. Because the excitement fades. That's the thing. Like, I'll be real with you guys. The excitement that I had August 1st is not the same excitement that I have now. I'll be real with you guys. I was more excited August 1st than I am right now. But the feeling has faded. But you know what I got to keep doing? I got to keep showing up. Oh, Nano, this is not only for 1 week that we're going to do this. We got to keep doing this every day, bro. Anybody can do the work when it's exciting. Like, for example, at my first week when I started doing this, easy. Man, I felt on top of the world. I was committed. I was excited. I had just finished tour. But now we're 2 weeks in. That excitement that I once had is not as exciting anymore, right? So now is when the real test of discipline matters. Remember, I'm going to repeat the definition. Discipline is the ability to give yourself a command and follow through with it long after the feeling of excitement has faded. I gave myself a command at the beginning of the month, and I said, I'm going to wake up every day this month at 5 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning. I've been staying true to my commitment. But guess what? Some of that excitement is fading. Now is where my discipline is going to be tested the most. This is when it gets tested. Now that the excitement is fading, I don't have that same tour excitement, all that excitement that I once had. Not because I'm not excited. It's just that stuff tends to fade. Remember, motivation fades. That motivation that I once felt, I don't have that. I don't have that high as motivation anymore. All I have now is my discipline and my word. The boring seasons, it shows me who's committed and who's not. I love the boring seasons because it exposes or it promotes you. The boring seasons promote you or expose you. I see a lot of people relaxing, chilling. Oh, nah, I'm good. They're being exposed. They weren't really committed. The committed are the ones that are still going, still 8 months later, 9 months later. Remember this, discipline is the bridge between your current reality and your dream life. I agree, Rich. We are conditioned to take summers off our whole lives. It's not even our fault. It's the way society raised us. We were raised to believe that, because of the way we went to school, when school finishes, May, June, July, June, July, and August are summer vacation. That's why a lot of people also in December, January is winter vacation. That's why people at the beginning, at the end of the year, December, the year's over. That's it. Holidays. Let me take the rest of the year off. But you know what I realized? In the seasons where people relax, I work twice as hard. I'm on my Instagram and I'm looking at everybody turning up. My friends going to sleep at 4 in the morning. They're drinking. They're at barbecues. They're living their best lives. And I'm happy for them. Hey, do what you got to do, bro. I get it. I was there. I can't be one to judge because that was me. I was the one that used to love going to sleep at 3, 4 in the morning in the summers, staying up late at all the pools, all the stuff, which is awesome. I get it. Like, I love it. I'm not saying you can't live it up, but I'm not in the position to do that right now. I'm in the position to outwork everybody so that I can live my summers better than I've ever lived them in the next coming years. I'm here to work. I'm here to put in the pain. I'm not in a position to chill. I'm not in a position to be staying up at 4 in the morning, chilling, relaxing, drinking, smoking. I'm not in that position yet. Let me work my butt off first. Let me get to the point where I'm making enough money where I'm not spending my summers in the States. I'm spending my summers in the French Riviera on a yacht somewhere, drinking the finest wines and eating the finest foods all around the world, where I can afford that kind of summer, where I can take my family with me. Here, mom, here, dad, let's go. I'm not there yet. So you know what we're doing? We're putting in work, staying disciplined, staying consistent to what we said we would do. That's the key. And it takes time. It takes time. So number 2 is boredom is the test of discipline. Number 3, the compound effect lives in the mundane. If you guys have never read the book, The Compound Effect, one of my favorite books of all time. Literally one of the best books of all time. And what it basically states is that you have to be consistently compounding your habits over long periods of time. It's a great book. It's a phenomenal book. The magic isn't in doing one big thing once. It's doing the small things daily without fail. Every day doing the small things. You think that these things are not big, but that's the beauty of it. In order for you to get the big things, you gotta do the little things. The writing the goal down every day. The reading of the books, 10 pages every day. Read 10 pages every day. Right? The goal writing, the meditations, the Bible studies, the prayers, the audio books. Right now I'm in one of those seasons where music doesn't exist. I'm in that season right now. Music doesn't exist in my life right now. I'm in a season in my life where if there's any dead time, there's an audio playing or a podcast playing. So I'm in the shower podcast. I'm in the gym podcast. I'm going for a run audio. Now this morning I didn't do audio. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I did music this morning because I needed some energy this morning getting up. But everything, like, I'm sitting around. Yesterday I was just sitting around, audio, 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 audio. At all times, audio, 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 audio. Music is not bad. I love music. Don't get me wrong. But there's seasons that I get into where I don't want to listen to music. Because all the time that I would have spent listening to music, I want to spend that learning. I need the information. I'm hungry. I'm starving for more information. I need to subconsciously program myself. I've already programmed myself with all the music. I know all the Drake songs. I know all the Bad Bunny songs. I know all these songs already. I don't need to remember any more songs. I need to know this information like I know these songs. Because some of us, we know our favorite songs off the top, but do you know your favorite audiobook? Do you know your favorite? No, bro, let's learn these things. All right, worship music is also really good. I love the worship music. Love the worship music. The worship music is key. Don't get me wrong with that. But you want to compound those things. Because listen to this, right? Listen to this. Skipping one morning doesn't feel like anything. Oh, you know what? I skipped it once. But guess what? If you start skipping it daily, that's how your dreams die. Every boring rep is a deposit into your future success. Every boring rep. Every time every time you pick the audio over the music, that's a boring rep. I'm pretty sure if you really had to choose, you would pick the music over the audio. But the boring rep is the audio. Every time you choose to wake up early versus stay in bed, that's a boring rep. No, you don't want to wake up early. But you got to put in the boring rep. You don't want to pick up the book and read, but that's the boring rep. You don't want to grab a journal and read and write your goals down, but that's the boring rep. You got to put in the work into the boring. And those things add up. Because remember, here's the thing about the compound effect. It works both ways. It works both ways. It doesn't just compound up. It can compound down. let me tell you guys something. And you guys, this may hurt some of you guys. The reason why some of us are going through challenges in our lives is because we compounded negative habits over long periods of times. The challenges that you're going through in your life right now is because you compounded negative habits over a long period of time. And now you're receiving the result of it. Now you're dealing with financial challenges. Now you're dealing with mental challenges. Now you're dealing with health challenges. Now you're dealing with these things because you compounded negative habits, negative thoughts, negative actions over long periods of time. I've seen it happen to me all the time. I've seen it happen to me all the time with my mind, with my spirituality, with my physical body. Right? If say for example, I choose not to go to the gym over a long period of time, guess what happens? I start to get a little gut. I start to gain weight. Right? If I choose not to do my Bible study, not to go to church on Sundays, not to do my prayer every morning, guess what? I get disconnected from God. Guess what ends up happening? Now I start making bad decisions. I'm not being obedient. I'm not being righteous. I don't have the word. And now all of these, now I'm clouded. All these things start to add up. I don't do my morning routine every morning. Now I'm off. My business is off. My relationships is off. So when I start to deal with challenges, I look at, Nano, have you been compounding positively or have you been compounding negatively? I feel good today. Why? Because I've been compounding positive habits the last 2 weeks. But a couple of months ago, when I was feeling down, when I was stressed, and I was dealing with anxiety and all that stuff, it was because I compounded negative habits over time. It's the law of cause and effect. That's how this works. The compound effect can either be your biggest friend or it can be your worst enemy. Remember that. The compound effect could be your best friend or your worst enemy. Whatever you're going through right now, I can almost guarantee you is because of negative habits compounded over a period of time. And you know what's the craziest part? It could be just thoughts. It could be just your thoughts compounded over a period of time. You compound negative thoughts over a long period of time, you'll get it. Because remember, how does the saying go? You become what you think about most of the time. Guys, this is basic information that we all have to understand. If understood, it could change everything for you guys. Very, very important that you guys understand this stuff. All right. So number 3 is the compound effect. It lives in the mundane. You got to fall in love with the mundane work. And then last but not least, number 4, so we can wrap this call up. Mastery is hidden in repetition. Mastery is hidden in repetition. There's only 2 ways to change a paradigm. 2 ways. One is through repetition. What's the second one? You can only change your paradigm 2 ways. One is through repetition. What's the other one? I almost said it. Who knows? Emotional impact. Emotional impact is the other way to change it. Reps and emotional impact. Those are the only 2 ways to change a paradigm. You got to put in the reps and you got to have a strong emotional impact. Those are the only 2 ways to change a paradigm. Nano, what's a paradigm? Your way of thinking. That's how you think. Your paradigm is how you think. There's only 2 ways to change it. So mastery is hidden in repetition. The more you repeat the basics, the sharper you become. The more you repeat the basics, the sharper you become. You know why, for example, in sports, those athletes that you see getting paid millions and millions of dollars, you know what makes them good? It's not that they're just great players and they do big things. It's because they mastered the basics. They did the same move over and over and over again. I remember there's this story of Kobe Bryant, of this guy who he went to visit Kobe. and he was like, yo, I want to come watch you work out. And Kobe said, yo, I'm in the gym tomorrow, 4:30 in the morning. You should come. So the guy comes, he watches Kobe Bryant from the stands. And then he says in the interview later, he's like, yo, I went to watch Kobe Bryant practice this morning, and he spent 2 hours practicing the same move, the same footwork, the most basic footwork that is taught in middle school and high school. He was just practicing the basics. And later after the game, Kobe goes, he scores like 40 points. And he asks Kobe, I was watching you for like 2 or 3 hours. You practiced the same move over and over and over again. What's the reasoning behind it? He said, legendary players are not the ones who can show up during the big moments only. It's the ones who can master the basics. Because if you master the basics, you master your life. If you master the basics, you master your life. Another story. One of my mentors was personally mentored by Bob Proctor. They were on a jet on their way to a new location. He told me the story. I never forget it. He told me the story here, like, yo, I was writing down he said I was writing down the 7 natural laws of the universe and their definitions. As I'm on the jet, I'm writing these down, the 7 natural laws, the law of transmutation, the law of vibration, the law of cause and effect. I'm writing these things down. And Bob, I guess he gets up to use the bathroom. And he says, what are you doing? He says, I'm writing down the laws. I'm mastering the laws. And Bob says to him, you master the basics, you master your life. Master the basics, you master your life. You master the laws, you master your life. The basics is the key. You gotta master the basics. Why you think I do this every day? Why you think I talk about it every day? Everything else will come as a result of me mastering the basics. But it's boring. It's boring. Don't get me wrong, it is boring. But I do it because I want to master my life. You become a master of your life, the world becomes your oyster. You do whatever you want. You know the basics. It's a part of you. My mind is literally trained already to wake up and get into my morning routine mode. I'm already trained like that. There's nothing else. But the thing is, I've been trained like that for years. I used to do this when I played baseball back when I was 13, 14 years old. We're talking about almost 15 years ago. I used to wake up early and go for a run. Now, back then, my morning routine didn't include reading and any of that stuff, but I remember I used to go for runs and listen to audios. I remember back in those days, the only motivational speaker I knew of was Eric Thomas. So I was listening. Damn, Eric Thomas has been around for a while, now that I think about it, because sheesh. I was listening to him when I was a senior in high school. Back when he used to talk about, remember that first YouTube audio that made him famous, the one that he says, you gotta want it as bad as you want to breathe. That's where it all started for me, with that Eric Thomas video, where he puts the guy under, he takes the guy under the water and he holds him almost to the point where he's gonna pass out, and then boom, he comes out of water. And he tells him, yo, how bad do you want it? You gotta want it as bad as you wanted to breathe in that moment. I remember those days. I'll never forget it. Those words are installed in my subconscious mind. I gotta want it as bad as I want to breathe. And look, guys, I'm gonna be real with you guys. There's seasons where I'm not at my best. I'm human, right? Like I deal with emotions. I go through stuff as well, but I get myself out of them. I find ways to get out of them. Never judge somebody for going through a season, because we all are gonna go through them. But it's not about what you do when you go through the seasons, it's how fast you can get yourself out of that season. So some of you may be in that season right now. You may be in a season where you're maybe not all there right now. That's fine. How fast can you get out of it though? Because remember, you don't want to stay there. You don't want to stay there. Because what happens if you stay there long enough, what happens? Now it really starts to go against you. The faster you can get out of those seasons, the better it is. The longer you stay in those seasons, the worse it gets. Because now you get stuck, you get frustrated, stress increases, anxiety increases, all of it increases. I've been there. I've had those seasons this year. All right. It's part of the game. But guess what? I got out of it. Why? Because I said, yo, I can't be here. I understand that. I know that I can't be in those seasons for too long. I embrace them when I'm there because, hey, it's part of life. Not every day you're going to be at all-time highs and feeling amazing, feeling great. There's going to be seasons when you're low. All right. But remember, when you're low, it doesn't mean that you need to stop doing the work. Now is when you want to now is when you want to do the work, because the only way to get out of it is by doing the work. And look, I got out of it. Now I'm feeling good. I'm back in my mode. I'm feeling good. I'm in high vibrations. I didn't stay there long. If I would have stayed there longer, who knows? I would probably still be in that season months later. But I got out of it right away. I was out of it within a couple of weeks. But while I was in that season, I was learning what got me here, what mistakes did I make, what habits did I compound. I was paying attention. Okay, let's shift. Let's get out of here. I don't want to be here too long, because a couple weeks turn into a couple months turn into a half a year could turn into a year. Financial Andre, 19, in a low season right now, working my way out of it. You know what you do, Financial Andre? Tomorrow morning, bro, wake up earlier than you've ever woke up, my brother. You're waking up at 7 a.m., wake up at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Challenge yourself. Get in the gym. Read a good book. Read the word. Get tapped in with God. Pray more tomorrow. Make sure you're at church this Sunday. Write your goals down. Remind yourself why you're doing this again. Start with day 1, bro. And then do it again day 2. And then the weekend comes around. Don't take the weekend off. You can't afford taking weekends off when you're in a low season, Andre. Work through the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Then at the top of the week, do it again. Do it again. Do it again. And I'm telling you, bro, in the next 7 to 14 days, you'll be feeling a lot better. But you have to get yourself out of it mentally first. Whatever's happening outside in the physical will change when you get out of it yourself. You got to work through the low seasons. We here with you, family. We here. Make sure you're on Mornings with Nano every day, listening to the messages, and the boring work will eventually get you out of it. That's the key. And you know what? I'll tell you guys, that is what gets you out of everything. The boring work. Whenever you're in a slump, do the boring work. And then when you get to all-time highs, keep doing the boring work so that you can keep it. Because it's not about the level we can get to. It's not about the vibration we can get to. It's the one we can keep. Why do you guys think I repeat a lot of the same thing all over again? Over and over and over again. Why? Because of repetition. You see how I'm able to ask you guys questions and you know them? You guys know definitions. You guys know answers to things that most people in the world wouldn't know the answers to. You know why? I'm testing you guys. So that when it comes time, you understand, yo, this is discipline. Without a challenge, I can't grow. You know all these things off the top of these things are already subconsciously, because I've said it so many times, these things are installed inside of you now. Remember, once it's installed, you can never forget it. I can ask you 20 years from now, hey, what's the definition of discipline? You'll be able to tell me. You'll literally be able to tell me because it's already installed. Imagine if you can get yourself installed with all the right thoughts, habits, emotions. That's the key. Thing is that what you guys don't understand is that I'm working on you guys while I'm on these calls. I'm literally working on you. It's like you guys are almost like projects, and I'm working on you. And I'm feeding you the information over and over and over and over and over and over again until you get it. That's what teachers do. Teachers, they work on you over and over and over again until you get it. That's the key. Eventually, it'll become second nature. It'll be in stuff subconsciously. The only thing I tell you is never stop showing up to mornings with Nano. Because I'll be honest, I've had a lot of people who've done it over the years. I work on them. They go and become extremely successful, and they forgot about your boy Nano. They never jump on. They jump on mornings with Nano here and there. Oh, I got it. I already know what he's gonna say. Oh, I got it. I've been on those trainings. Never stop hopping on, fam. Never get too big for the little things, or the little things will start to be too big for you. I know a lot of people like that. I still love them though. You know, my mentor was Somi Neno. He told me once, he said, you can't be a mentor until you allow other people to walk away with your wisdom. He said, bro, that's part of the game. When you're a mentor, some people will come, they'll get what they can from you, and they'll go. And that's part of life. That's part of life. Look, my sister Amber's been here with me 5 years consistently. She never let the success that she's had over the years get to her. She's always hopping on. She's still here. Monday through Friday, rain or shine. Never forget. It's part of the game, fam. So those are the 4 ways to master the boring work. We said number 1, the boring is the foundation. We said number 2, boredom is the test of discipline. Number 3, the compound effect lives in the mundane. And number 4, mastery is hidden in the repetition. That's the key. Always remember, if you're too good for the boring work, you'll never be good enough for the big results. And that's the facts. Let me see. Somebody said, this is my first time here and my day already feels better. Thank you. Ready to start my day. That's powerful. Thank you. Welcome to the family, Kishona. I hope I said that right. Thank you so much for hopping on. I'm grateful for you, and I pray that you were able to get some value from this. But with that being said, guys, that is the end of today's call. Remember, guys, I'm live every day, Monday through Friday at 10:30 a.m. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your days. Go be productive. Go do what you got to do to work on yourself. I pray that abundance and breakthroughs are filled with your day today. Like, I want it to be filled today with nothing but abundance, wisdom, breakthrough, happiness, and so much more. I want to see you guys win. If you guys have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, my Instagram is at Long Live Nano and Mornings with Nano. Make sure that you guys are following both, because we're going to be posting content on those as well. If you guys want to stay up to date with the retreat. Now, let me tell you guys something now. I have 1 house available for the retreat. Every house has sold out. We've sold over, I think we sold 11 houses. We had 12. I have 1 house available. If you want, I don't know if it's too late. It's not too late yet, but I don't know if you guys have been wanting to come or not, but there is only 1 house available. I want to offer it to you guys because obviously you guys are my Mornings with Nano family. But if not, I'm going to post it on Instagram, and it's probably going to sell out when I post it on Instagram. If you want to come to the retreat and you want some more information, join the Telegram chat that's right there in the chat. And if you're watching on social media on Instagram, join the one that's in my bio. I only have 1 house left. If you need some more information on it, let me know, because I only have 1 house left. Basically, it's already fully sold out, but they gave me an extra house, and I was like, all right, whatever. I'm sure somebody else will take it. So I only have 1 VIP house left. So it's going to be super cool. So just keep that in mind. All right, fam. So with that being said, also last thing, if you are in the Orlando area and you want to go to a big event that's happening this weekend, reach out to either myself or Jasmine. Jasmine has some tickets to give away for people in the Mornings with Nano community. Yeah, no, I know. I'm fixing it right now. Okay, I should be back. Do you still teach Forex? Yes, I do. I do actually. Reach out to me. Okay, I'm good now. So yeah, guys, if you guys want to get locked in and you guys want to hear about a beautiful big event that you guys can get a lot of value from, especially if you're in the Florida area and you want to, get some access to these tickets, reach out to Jasmine on Instagram, and she'll get you guys some tickets to that event that you guys will be able to leverage. And just consider it, because you guys are part of the family, you guys get access to some great events, which is super dope. All right, guys. So with that being said, that is everything for today. If you want to come to the retreat, join the chat, fill out the application. I'll reach out to you guys in the next 48 hours. And, with that being said, little prayer. I'm going to just, practice some gratitude for the Lord today, and we'll go from there. Everybody bow your heads. Let's pray. Father God, I just want to say thank you so much on behalf of the whole entire community and myself for everything that you've done for us. This year, this summer has been absolutely amazing. It's been filled with so many breakthroughs. It's been filled with abundance. It's been filled with forgiveness, grace, and just everything, Father. So we just want to say thank you today. We want to say thank you for your love. Thank you for your protection. Thank you for this community. Thank you for always guiding us in the right path. Thank you for holding our hands through the good times and being there even closer through the bad times. We love everything that you represent, and we're here to continue to build the kingdom each and every single day. Thank you for giving us the strength to show up even on the days that are hard. Thank you for washing us clean of our sins. Thank you for forgiving us. Thank you for it all, Father. Thank you for our families. Thank you for our health. Thank you for our healthy bodies. Thank you for it all, Father, like everything, the opportunities. There's so much to thank you for, Father, but we just want you to know today that we are just thankful and our hearts are full of gratitude. We don't want to ask for anything today. We just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. We will continue to build the kingdom. And in your name we pray. Amen. There we go, guys. So with that being said, that wraps up today's call. Sometimes you just got to say thank you because God is the greatest, and he has definitely blessed us in ways that we could never imagine. All right, guys. So Hazel's right here, literally looking up at me like, are we going? Are we going? But I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And I hope you guys have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. And I will see you guys on the next call tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. God bless. And I'll see you guys there.